So then same location, but this time I'm using Gaia Maps instead, and we're going to create a track that we're going to follow. Now Gaia Maps is really good for creating tracks, but not great with creating routes, and the reason being is the exporting feature. It always exports it as a route, which sounds like what you want, but the problem is it actually creates a route as a track. It doesn't have just the route points. It includes every sort of couple of meters to that point as a route, which kind of doesn't make any sense. And I don't really understand. I'm sure there's a reason behind the way they've designed it, but I can't work it out. I don't know why they're doing it that way. It should export as a track in that case, but it doesn't. So again, we're going to start at the start. Now the difference here is that we're just tracing. So if we're lucky, we can actually go all the way to the end and just go from start to finish. And you see, there it is. There's the gate there. You can see that little symbol there. It's showing as a gate in a parking lot. So that's where we're just going to go to the end there. So I'm going to click on the end, and it does, in fact, apart from one little section, follow the route that we want to follow, which is great. And that's the method I tend to use, is I will go from start to finish and see where it lands, and then just amend. So we're following the where we want to go, but here, I do know that this particular little track here is a little difficult, and it's not the main part. So we're just going to click and drag that over to this bit, which is where we want to go. So just setting the whole thing, and then making little amendments instead. But that's effectively it, right? Nice and easy. And you can create a whole route doing that as basically a track. So again, we're just going to give that a name, call it a track.
So then following a track is, again, pretty simple. It's the downside of following a track is that it's absolutely set in stone, which means that if you come to something that's blocked and can't get through, need to change direction, then your track's not going to be able to handle that, which is where a dynamic route comes in. However, if there is a certain path that you have to follow and hell no high water is going to get in your way, then a track is the most reliable and less likely to find the wrong path. So the track's giving us a fairly defined endpoint. The kilometers will be accurate. The thing about a track is that it really comes down to keeping an eye on it. It's not going to give you turn-by-turn directions. So really, it's only, am I still on the right route or not? So you're kind of picking your zoom level is important. Alright, so now we're at the end, and that is our track done.